This episode of the ZuLoo Poodcast is sponsored by ZuLoo Inc., a benefit corporation dedicated to the goal of universal access to toilets, hygiene, clean water and sanitation through the power of social enterprise. Learn more at ZuLoo.com.
People put a lot of strange things up there.
Yeah.
And the thing is that if you needed to be convinced to not try this, let me give you another reason to not do this, is that when you do this, it creates microscopic tears along the
injury.
lining, which is going to create scar tissue, which is actually going to decrease your ability for pleasure during sex. So don't do it.
So don't do it. I hope that this woman got help. I don't remember.
Well, if she's not feeling the toothbrush, she's not feeling other things as well.
Nothing but scar tissue.
I know.
Welcome to the ZuLoo Poodcast, where we talk all things poop, toilets, and sanitation. Through insightful news, impact stories, and quirky humour, we aim to discuss and highlight the critical role toilets play in whisking poop out of our lives, the impact toilets have, or lack thereof, in the health and wellness of humanity, and what ZuLoo is doing to help solve the current global sanitation crisis.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the ZuLoo Poodcast. We are so excited to have you listening in again this week. We are excited every week that you tune in. But I'm extra excited this week because we've got Cody Sanders and Shannon Mangum in studio with me. Darren's, behind the scenes. Like, we shoved him off after last week. It was
we kicked him out.
We're just ready for another girls episode.
It was time.
It was time. And Cody, it's been about a year since you were on the podcast.
Has it? I know.
Time just flies by.
Well, I had so much fun last time. I'm just so excited to be back.
Yeah, we'll have you back every year.
Perfect.
More than a year if you want. I mean, truly.
Great. Yes, sign me up.
Awesome. Well, I want to introduce us a little bit. Shannon, you've been on the podcast just a few weeks ago. We had you on for International Women's Day, which was just such a phenomenal episode to talk to you a little bit more about traveling the world. And I loved it. So I'm excited. I hope you brought some more toilet stories with you today.
Oh, I'll be thinking right now.
Yeah, get those gears turning. And then Cody, for our new listeners, I'd love it if you just introduce yourself a little bit. You've brought us a special treat to talk about today. So tell our listeners a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. My name's Cody Sanders, and I am a holistic health practitioner and a functional nutritionist. And I am the co-owner of a company called Mixhers. And Mixhers is all about supporting women's hormonal health through supplements and products that are better made, that are actually support women's hormones instead of disrupting them.
Love that. Yeah. Love that. And you two are like BFFs.
Yes.
How did you meet? How was this? This is a love story. Tale as old as time. Right. How did you two meet?
Well, I needed a trainer.
A personal trainer.
Yeah. Yep. Cody at the time owned the Lab Fitness gym.
Yeah.
And so I went in and started training with somebody else. And then I ended up switching to Cody. And then we just started having fun. Yeah. I mean, and then the conversations were so great and we were just cracking up.
I love it.
I mean, it's fun to work out when it's like that.
Aww.
I mean, it was going by so fast.
It's working out with your best friend.
I know.
We became best friends.
Yes.
And that doesn't always happen. I worked with a lot of different clients, but Shannon was pretty special. And we had lots of fun. And then we started hanging out outside of the gym. We started going on trips.
That's always awkward. It's like, okay, we're out. We're not wearing our stretchy pants.
What do we do?
We're outside of our little, safe space.
I know. But it was never awkward with you.
No, it wasn't. Nope. We were, the conversation flowed. It was great.
Oh, yes. I love it. Fast forward to today, and here we are on a podcast.
I know.
We're gonna talk shit a little bit.
Perfect.
I'm very excited for it.
We talk shit all the time, so it's perfect, natural. Yeah,
that's right.
That's something a little more fabulous, though. I just had to comment on what each of you are wearing because it's just y'all look phenomenal. I mean, sometimes I come to these and I feel a little bit like a trash bag, and today I feel a little bit extra. But I wore pink lip gloss because I knew Cody would be in bright colors.
Yes, got to have pink on. That's signature color. So,
and you're wearing some pretty sexy boots.
Show us those boots, Cody.
Show us the boots, Cody.
All right, let's see if I can do this without knocking everything over.
You got it. Oh,
try not to show the price tag that's on the bottom.
For our listeners only, these are, I don't know how to describe them, the cutest ankle booties I've ever seen.
Oh, very cute.
They're kind of like Barbie boots.
They are like
I've never seen them before either.
Well, there was only one pair and they just happened to be my size.
It was meant to be.
It was meant to be.
So many stories of fate.
Don't you want to see my sexy boots?
I do want to see your sexy
I actually
boots.
like hers better.
Oh, the ever classic Sorel.
It's cold out there, ladies.
It's getting you through the snow.
That's right.
Totally.
Just got back from Puerto Rico a couple days ago. So,
you're feeling it extra.
I'm
then.
like, it's flip-flops or it's
You're not in Puerto
snow
Rico
boots.
anymore. Nope. Yep.
That's right.
Oh, man. Well, I love it. I'm so excited to have you both in studio today.
Thank you.
Wanted to kick us off with a little bit of, normally we do poo news, but today in our news stories, there's very little mention of poo or toilets.
Yeah.
And since we're all women, typically they're centered around women's health and hygiene. So
Yeah.
I wanted to jump in, chat a little bit about our hygiene news for the week.
It's all sanitation.
It's all sanitation. That's right, Shannon. It really is. Okay, let's pull up this one. First, it feels a little clickbaity to me, but Cody, your health background, you might be able to educate us a little bit more.
We'll see.
The headline is vaginal discharge normal? This is,
Yeah.
I mean, my red
Does
button
it make you
answer is yes.
uncomfortable? Yeah.
Yeah. Is it
Yeah.
yes?
Absolutely.
be.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
A woman.
It should be.
Yeah. Well, it is absolutely. And you know what's kind of cool? And I'm actually glad that people are talking about it because so many times people they get too embarrassed to bring stuff up like this. But your vaginal discharge can actually tell you so much about what's going on with your overall wellness. And so women, if you can learn to read this, you can find out if there's things going on that maybe are imbalanced. You can also tell when you are most fertile. And, there's lots of things that you can learn. Now, obviously, yes, vaginal discharge is absolutely normal, but there are different colors of vaginal discharge. And I don't know how deep you want to go into this. But
I think you just give us a little lesson right now. What ought it be and what should it not be? Like when you need to go see somebody.
Yes. Anytime it's an odd color or there's an odd smell to it, that would be something that you would want to pay attention to and go seek some guidance on that. But normally, depending on what time of the month it is for you, because, as women, obviously we talk a lot about menstruation. That's an obvious time of the month. It's very there's telltale signs, right? But during the month, as your body is, going through the different weeks and different phases of your menstrual cycle, which is a month-long process, the vaginal discharge will change. And it will go from a consistency of being kind of like a clear egg white, kind of a consistency. Then as you get closer to when you are most fertile around ovulation, then you will have a little thicker consistency, and it's normal to have it be kind of white. Now, there's a difference between that and the cottage cheese stuff that kind of happens when there's an infection or something like that. But as long as it's a little more thick and just kind of a little more creamy, that's actually done on purpose because it helps to protect sperm. And so it's meant to help, keep
the sperm where it's
get
trying
the
to go.
sperm where it needs to go. And sperm can stay alive for 5 days. Did you know that? There's only one day of the month you can get pregnant, but if you have sex within that 5-day window, then you still could get pregnant. So I love teaching women about all of this because it helps them to have more fertility awareness. So
I always thought it was 3 days. So 5 days.
5 days.
5 days. That window's open.
Yeah. You just are a little more careful with protection during that time, or you abstinence or whatever. So yeah.
Well, and what's interesting too, or not interesting per se, but what I love about what you do, Cody, is that so many women, especially around this topic, right, are just ignorant, really, right? We're naive. Nobody really sits us down or the doctor gives us a pamphlet when you start your period or something. And it's this much information, you get a paragraph about what's happening in your body. And so it really behooves women for their benefit to sit down and to dive into these topics and really take the time to learn about them, to really figure out what's going on with my body. How can this benefit me? How can this increase my well-being? Rather than, I can just see this nightmarish effect of somebody being like, oh, this is coming out of me. This must not be good to come out of me. And then trying to find ways to stop that. And that can't be healthy.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that we do to kind of cover up if we don't understand. What things come to my mind are things like douching and different types of soaps and things like that to cover up or to try to get rid of. But when we do that, we actually mess up the very delicate pH balance that's in our vulva and our vagina. And so we're setting ourselves up for more problems down the road. You're going to be more likely to have infection and things.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've always thought just the vinegar and water was the douches that are vinegar and water, that they were good.
You know what? If you can find something that just is vinegar and water, that's actually going to be fine. That's no problem whatsoever. But there's a lot of the commercial ones that are out there that are full of fragrance. Yeah. They're full of all kinds of things that disrupt the pH balance in our vulva is actually very acidic. And a lot of those things are meant to like alkalinize, and it creates dysbiosis, like bacterial dysbiosis. And so yeah, that's where a lot of women that are experiencing, UTIs a lot and things like that. It's because they are messing too much with the delicate balance. Our vaginas are self-cleaning machines. Like you really don't need anything to clean your vagina. And vagina is actually the canal. And then the outer part is your vulva. And the vulva, definitely, good hygiene is great. But even you want to be careful with the types of soaps and things like that. Just good old water, good old vinegar. Or if you can find something, we actually do have a fem wash that we just released as well that's specifically formulated with things like apple cider vinegar in it and some other things like silver and things like that help to just, support exactly how nature intended everything to be down there.
Nice. Yeah. Love that. Yeah. Love that. Yeah. I have a horror story.
Okay. Let's hear it.
It's been imprinted on my brain for years. And I don't know when I watched this, but one of my favorite, guilty pleasure shows is My Strange Addiction.
Oh,
I don't know.
Wait, that's the name of it?
Yeah, it's called My Strange Addiction.
Oh, okay, I've never heard of this.
Oh, you'd have a heyday, but maybe you don't want to, and you maybe won't, and
it becomes an addiction.
This is listener discretion. I'm going to talk about some scary things here. Oh, I remember watching an episode once, and a woman had an obsession with cleaning her vagina, and she wasn't just douching; she would at least daily go into the bathtub, take a toothbrush, and scrub her vaginal canal.
Wow.
And she's like, this takes up, 30 minutes of my time or something. And I just remember being like, ouch. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And, some women are like, it's not really that sensitive an area. Like, how could you, yeah. But then those people need to go and see someone. So I don't know. Don't do that. This is
no, but it is interesting. People put a lot of strange things up there. Yeah. And the thing is that if you needed to be convinced to not try this, let me give you another reason to not do this, is that when you do this, it creates microscopic tears along the lining, which is going to create scar tissue, which is actually going to decrease your ability for pleasure during sex. So don't do it.
So don't do it. I hope that this woman got help. I don't remember.
Well, if she's not feeling the toothbrush, she's not feeling other things as well.
Nothing but scar tissue down there for her. Poor lady. That's crazy. No, I don't know. I kind of want to watch the show.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know.
Maybe it would be good for my trauma to go back and rewatch it with adult eyes, because I'm pretty sure I was 12.
How old were you?
I don't know. I must have been 12 or 13 or something.
It's been, that show is still going?
Oh, it's still around. People are addicted to some weird stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a topic of conversation.
Is it a Netflix show?
No, it was on TLC or something.
I'll just stick to
they're all
Korean
on
dramas.
TLC. Yeah, all those crazy shows.
I love it. Okay, well, I don't feel like we need to talk about the article because I feel like you just smashed that. But there was another interesting one that I just thought, well, there's two. And I want to get through both of them. So we'll just go kind of quick.
Great.
So this article says, World of HR, Spain becomes the first European country to approve period leave. I've never heard of period leave. You hear of,
maternity leave,
paternity leave, but period leave. So our article says, well, we'll spare you any sixth grade jokes about periods. But people can experience several uncomfortable symptoms during menstruation. I feel like that's no surprise to us here. Fatigue, headache, cramping, back pain. And they're not just literal pain, right? Can hurt productivity. So some research out of the University of Virginia says that about 45.2% of women in the U.S. said that their symptoms have required them to miss work.
Right. That makes sense.
It makes sense.
I would agree with that.
I know so many of my friends who have had to miss school.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're just in so much pain, can't get out of bed. Some of them have certain conditions that get worse around their menstrual cycle. So
absolutely. There's over 100 symptoms that are associated with just PMS alone. And PMS is the premenstrual syndrome. That's something that happens right before you start menstruating. And yes, it's actually PMS and these types of things where, every woman that goes through this feel so debilitated. It's keeping them from being able to show up in life as their best selves, be able to go to school, play sports, be social, all of these things. That's what's helped us to want to start Mixhers. And it helped because we recognize that all of these symptoms that are so debilitating they are common, but they're absolutely not normal. And that's another thing that more women need to be educated on, because I think we are told so many times, like, it's just normal to have cramps and to be like bloated and have migraines and all of these things.
You're out for the next 7 days or whatever.
Yeah. So, I mean, I love this idea of having menstrual leave, but what I would love even more is let's educate women and give them the tools that can help to address the root cause of all of these debilitating symptoms so that they can show up in life. I mean, you want to take it easy during that time of the month because that's just what your body is needing at that time of the month. But whether that means you should have to miss work or miss anything in life that you want to show up for, I don't know that that's necessarily the case. So if you can get the right help and
so we need to petition for workplaces to give Mixhers out to their female employees.
Yes, and there's a lot of businesses that do this. It's great.
I could see Mixhers doing that.
We actually, some really great corporations. I'm like giving it to these guys who, a lot of them are owned by men. Some of these companies are owned by women, but they are really mindful of their female employees and want to support them in this. I think that's a big step. I think this is so different than even just 5 years ago when we, before we even started Mixhers and started talking about this, talking about periods and talking about these kinds of symptoms were so uncomfortable. It was like this little taboo topic. And I feel like now more and more it's like a more comfortable conversation to have. There's more awareness. And I think there's a lot of men and women, obviously, too, that care a lot. And they want the women in their life to feel good so that they can show up and do their best as well. And so they're willing to do whatever they can. So whether that is to have we have our Mixhers products that they have on tap. So these employee women can go
Mixhers
in and fill their
Mm-hmm.
water bottle up whenever they want. That's so great. A lot of them are now providing feminine hygiene, products and stuff like that in their bathrooms. And I love this. I love this movement. This is what we need more of this.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Man, that's awesome. I'm putting that on my future home checklist.
Yeah.
Mixhers on tap. Really
It's
want
pretty
that.
cute.
It does look cute too.
It is cute. Well, so tell me then, Cody, let our audience know, how did Mixhers get started and what is Mixhers up to now?
Thank you. Well, yeah. So Mixhers started, like I talked about, I was a health practitioner. And so I was seeing clients all the time, these women that would come to me and talk to me about all of these symptoms that were debilitating them, keeping them from, they would be in the fetal position on the floor for a couple days a month. And it's terrible. It's not okay. And they would go seeking for solutions. So they'd go to their doctor, their healthcare practitioner. And the only solutions that they were given was, well, this is normal. This is just what it means to be a woman. So here's some birth control. And, and the birth control will fix your hormones, which is absolutely not true at all. Birth control does not cure hormone imbalance.
I was crazy on birth control. On the pill.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many side effects that come along with that birth control. So you're trying to get rid of cramping or bloating or acne, but then you end up having all of these other
weight gain.
Yes, and crazy mood swings. And
I was super moody.
My PMS is way worse. I have an IUD, and it's way worse with my IUD than it ever was.
Yeah,
just
it puts
naturally.
you into menopause. It shuts down your hormone production. So I don't think a lot of women are educated enough. I'm not against birth control. I just am for more education so that women understand what it is that it's doing and what it is not doing. And that's the thing. I think it gets handed out like candy.
Yes.
And people think that it's the cure for all things. Well,
and they're not told when they take it, any of the side effects.
Right.
I mean, they have no idea.
No. And what's interesting too is, have you ever wondered why there's not a lot of birth control out there for men?
We've talked about this recently, but I didn't even know that that idea was even,
right. It's like we don't even think about it. Yeah. But of course, men should also be considering how to prevent pregnancy, right? But it's put on the woman. The reason is that they have created some birth control pills and things like that for men. But when they tested them out on these men, there were too many side effects. You know what the side effects were? Moodiness.
Anxiety, weight gain,
cramping.
Get a little quieter.
So it's not okay. Like for men,
guys couldn't handle it.
For men, it's like, no, that won't do. So this isn't, we're not going to prove this. But for women, they're like, yeah, totally. that's fine.
She can take it on.
So yeah, I know I'm on my soapbox about it, but
so Mixhers was born out of this love and passion for helping women, to educate women, to increase well-being and life satisfaction.
Yes, because it's not normal to suffer. And there are solutions. And my background is in helping to take a root cause approach to health and wellness. And so there's a couple of main root causes of hormone imbalance. And the number one root cause is nutritional deficiency. We're just not getting the nutrients in our food. We're not eating healthy, and so our body is telling us that something's off and that there's an imbalance by giving us symptoms. Symptoms are our body's way of communicating with us. And so once you can give your body what it's asking for, then the symptoms go away.
No, it's true. Yeah. I mean, I used to have, like so many ladies, really bad PMS. And when I really got my diet in check, I mean, my period would start and I wouldn't even know that it was coming. Right. Where before I was just like, oh, it's coming, and I would have no idea. And I'd be like,
that's what's normal. It's not common. It's pretty rare because like you said, there's like 46% of women that were interviewed said that they are debilitated for a week of, or more during the month.
Missing time at work. Yeah.
Insane. So fast forward, Mixhers is incredible. It's blowing up. We all use your products all the time. I love them.
Actually, that is what is in here.
That's what's in your water bottle. I love it. My daughter loves it.
She loves the greens. She loves what's in here. I drink the greens all day long.
It's just like juice.
We don't
drink juice. She's two.
She loves the greens.
I love hearing this. Yeah. Any way you can sneak those nutrients, in, whether you're a 2-year-old or a 22-year-old or a 62-year-old, it's the best.
Cutest. Yeah. I mean, she says the same thing I say. She goes,
So cute. Will you film that, please?
Yes, I will.
Yeah, we'll send it to you.
You get a video of that
advertising. Yeah, your way.
That would be adorable. That's so fun. Yeah, so it's just, we started with our first product, which is called Her Time, which is a nutritional therapy supplement that addresses the root cause, nutrition deficiency for helping to relieve symptoms of PMS and other hormone imbalance issues. But then women were having such great success with that they trusted Mixhers. And so they really requested that we create other supplements that could also support their other health needs. So with Mixhers, our goal is to put really good, effective, mostly, effective products out there that are going to be hormone friendly, but be like kind of the one-stop shop for all women's health and wellness needs.
Yeah.
And I love that it's totally clean. I mean, I won't say the other product that I was using forever, but it had an artificial sweetener in it. And I was like, oh, I love all these other things that it's doing, but it did have a chemical taste. And then I would drink Mixhers and I would be like, I mean, the taste was it was just so clean.
I drink it as my treat. It's my treat drink.
Great.
I do my little Mixhers and it's like my little paradise.
Do your little happy dance?
Yeah, I do my little happy dance and I see like my 2-year-old.
Oh, that makes me happy.
But it's clean. Your ingredients are clean. There's no artificial anything.
Yeah, because it matters what you put in your body. And so, yes, it's good to have like nutrients that are healthy for you. But if you're putting in artificial coloring, you're putting in artificial sweeteners, things like that, then you're really poisoning your body on top of it. And so, Mixhers, we don't add any fillers. We have no artificial anything in it. In fact, the flavors come from the actual fruit of whatever that product is. If it's like a juicy peach Her Time, it's being flavored by actual peaches, and we're just sweetened with a little bit of stevia. And it's hard to believe that it's also jam-packed full of like roots and vegetables and herbs and all of these things that don't necessarily always taste so good. But we work really hard to make it taste good because when women enjoy drinking it, then they're consistent with taking it. And that's what you need to be if you're going to reap the benefits of nutritional therapy. Right. You have to be consistent because it's not a like quick fix. It's not like a Band-Aid approach, So it's staying consistent with it, taking something every day. It's like giving your body all that good, nutritious food every single day. If you eat one salad at night, you're not going to be super healthy the next day. All of a sudden overnight, it takes time. You got to be consistent.
Right. Yeah. Totally. I mean, I was trying to tell a friend, I'm a pretty clean eater. And I was telling her that, the greens from Mixhers so good. And she's like, Shannon, I know how you eat. She's like, I'm not going to drink that pond scum, And I'm like, okay. I went home and I made a little video and I'm like, this is me mixing it and look how clear, And I'm like, it's so good, And then I sent her the video and
I need that video too.
Okay, I can send you that one.
I love it. Yeah, we have a greens product. It has 14 of the best greens that are on the planet. There's a lot of greens drinks out there that love to show their big long list of the greens that are in it. And that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. But we chose ingredients that had the most bang for their buck, that were the most powerful. And we just upgraded her greens. In fact, we just announced it just a couple weeks ago that we've now increased it. So now her greens has 4 times the greens.
Sweet.
Wow.
So it's even more,
concentrated.
I'm sure it's in my
concentrated, more
mailbox
punch.
right now.
Yeah. Yeah. We're pretty excited about it.
So bring us up to speed. You brought this goodie in for us. It says menstrual cups. We'll show a little pic of it. I'm going to hold it up to my camera here.
Yeah. We have been in the supplement space, but women really are trusting us. And we've kind of ventured into some other areas because when it comes to self-care, there's a lot of things that us women are going to the store to purchase, or maybe we don't even know that we need it yet. And that might be what it comes down to with the menstrual cup. But as far as what you can use for feminine hygiene, it matters also what you're putting in and on your body as well. And so I've loved using menstrual cups over the years. But what I have noticed is there is a lot of menstrual cup companies out there. While it's a great idea, it's a great concept, and there's so many benefits to it, but the materials that they're made out of are actually endocrine disruptors, which just means that they can mess and it cause hormone imbalance. And so we knew we could take this concept and we could make it even better and have it be something that we can help support our community. And we have big dreams for this. We really want to get this into the hands of as many women as possible. If you're not familiar with what a menstrual cup is,
open it up.
Yeah, do a little unboxing for us, Cody.
Oh, it's kind of cute, you guys. Because everything with Mixhers, we're like, if it's cute, you're gonna use it, right?
Absolutely.
So, you can just put this in your purse, and then inside, and this case is an important part of it too. And you don't always get this with a lot of other brands, right?
Mine comes in like a little cloth bag, and I hate it.
And it gets dusty.
That is really cute.
It gets dusty.
Yeah. See, so we've kind of tried to think through everything, and then. Also, this is what the menstrual cup looks like. And what we wanted was an easier way to hold on to it, to keep you clean. There's different sizes that we offer of menstrual cups because not every woman is created the same. We have, each of our vulvas are very unique and beautiful. So we have a small size, we have a little larger size if needed. But the thing that's so awesome is that there's nothing that is an endocrine disruptor. So it's BPA free. There's no latex. There's no rubber. There's no plastic.
Wow.
There's none of that because, people don't realize that this is having contact with your skin, especially inside you.
I mean, it's as close as you can get.
It's basically you're like eating the ingredients that it's made out of.
I'd never thought about that. And now I want to go look at my menstrual cup and see what it's made out of.
It.
Yeah,
don't even look.
I mean,
we'll get you one of these.
And
it's pink too, so which is going to not show stains. And there's a lot of things we've been thinking of, but you can use this for 12 hours. So even like the most super of pads or tampons, that's something that you don't want to do because it can cause toxicity. So, but this is something that's very safe for women to be able to use for longer periods of time, which is going to mean that you're not constantly your day is not going to be run by whether you have the right, tampon or, things in your purse or whatever.
Yes.
You can just put this in, forget about it. And, and then when you go home and go to bed, empty it out, clean it, put it back in. You're good for the whole night. Anyways, it's just very convenient. I love
awesome.
this. Menstrual cups. The other thing that's cool about it too is that it actually can help reduce cramps. So it helps to speed up your period. So your period doesn't have as long, it doesn't go as long. The duration shortens, but it also can help to relieve cramping. So
I'm really going to need one of these.
We're going to get you one.
And I think I'm going to need a right size because I think I've been using the wrong size.
Yeah. Who would have thought, that would matter too.
Well, yeah. And I think when I bought mine a few years ago, it wasn't super popular.
No.
And so the size talk discussion hadn't happened yet. And, we featured Pixie Cup on the show and they have a little self-quiz survey you can take to determine your size. And I'm sure that Mixhers has something very similar as well. And so I'm just super excited for Mixhers, excited for you, excited for me to get a new menstrual hygiene product. Yes. And just to make my life so much better. So
that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
Make it convenient, make help easy.
Yes. And, I was just reading, a book about well-being and happiness, and it's a book that surveys the happiest countries around the world. And the author was just saying the countries that are the happiest make health the most accessible. And so it's exactly what you're saying. If it's easy, if it's accessible to you, if it's convenient, if it's fun to use, if it's cute, especially for women, like we're gonna use it. And that is motivation enough, because we have so many priorities and so many things we care about, we want to get done. And women, I think, all too often let themselves fall by the wayside, let our health. And we just can't get all the superstar things we want to do done if we're
and we got a lot to do. We got a lot to do. So yeah,
we got a globe to run.
Women take care of everybody else, and our saying at Mixhers is, and we want Mixhers to take care of you. So yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that's what we're all about.
Amen. I don't think there's much more to say than that. Cody, Shannon, it's been such a pleasure to have you both on the show. Thank you for joining us in studio today. And
it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Sharing all the good education. I feel like I just got the like little micro lesson I needed today, because I really did need it. So thank you both for being here.
Yeah, I can tell. This is going to be something you use and implement, huh?
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to go home and have my Mixhers. I haven't had it yet today either. So can't wait. Snuggle up in my blanket with my show.
Don't share it with Gwen.
I will not be sharing it with my daughter. Yeah. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing in the cause. Thank you for taking care of you and the women in your life. If you like this episode, remember to subscribe, follow us on our social media accounts, and we'll catch you next week.
Thank you for listening to the ZuLoo Poodcast. Follow us on social media at our links in the show notes below. To learn more, visit our website, ZuLoo.org. If you liked the podcast, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment. For even more ZuLoo fun, send us an email with your toilet stories to podcast@ZuLoo.com for a chance to be featured on the podcast. This episode of the ZuLoo Poodcast is sponsored by ZuLoo Inc., a benefit corporation dedicated to the goal of universal access to toilets, hygiene, clean water and sanitation through the power of social enterprise. Learn more at ZuLoo.com.